The goal really is to make us the destination for students who are looking for a smaller school experience where people know you. It's not just about teaching and learning, it's also about mentoring and preparing you for life, and knowing that you are focused on the same type of education that we are, and that is one that is practitioner-based, is going to give you real-world experience, that's going to give you a springboard into your career.
Welcome everyone to Coffee with College Presidents. It is my honor to be back here at Delaware Valley University. President Brazilowski, thank you for having a little coffee.
Thank you, and welcome back, Alex.
Yeah, do you know when we were here, it was season 1, episode 8. We are filming right now season 16, over 200 episodes.
Wow.
So, do you know, there's a, not only, and I can't wait because we're going to unpack it in this interview here, but there's a soft spot in me here, and I feel like I've never left. I tell you, as I've been seeing your administration or when I feel like I'm coming home. I love it here.
That's great, and that's how we feel, and we're thrilled to have you back with us.
What I would love to do, if you don't mind, is to step back and go to the history. I got a sneak peek on a video that you all are doing with the BBC, and
yes,
it's really cool of the history. So can you start by just telling how this institution came to be, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. So we were founded in 1896 by Rabbi Joseph Krauskopf, who was very concerned about the plight of immigrants in cities across the United States, including Philadelphia, and was seeking solutions to the challenges that they were facing. And he had a chance meeting with Count Leo Tolstoy, and Tolstoy advised him that if you really wanted to make a difference in the lives of these individuals, teach them the science of agriculture. Help them to be self-sufficient, but also to be able to move forward for generations to come. And Rabbi Krauskopf came to Doylestown and started what he named the National Farm School in 1896 with 6 students and 2 faculty, and began the process of introducing these young men at the time to the science and practice of agriculture. And science and practice is important because Rabbi Krauskopf was a firm believer that learning didn't just take place in the classroom and had to be beyond the classroom, so that it was a balance between theory and experiment, or as he called it, science with practice, and how it's evolved today, we say knowledge by doing.
Yeah. And that essence, that ethos, still alive and well today.
It
right?
is embedded throughout our curricula. And we actually have a program called the Experience 360 or E360 program that all students complete by the time they graduate, that ensures that they have that real world experience, that practical experience that Rabbi Krauskopf talked about, that enables them to differentiate themselves from students from other institutions as they go out to launch their trajectory, whether that's graduate or professional school or that first job.
I love it. I mean, we talk a lot about E360 in the episode.
Absolutely.
And I know it's connecting that with the history to what it is today. And you were talking before we even clicked record here, talking about your own, you got your own kids. And so
right.
You're in it to win it right now. You're watching, you have kids in different stages right now of high school and college, and having that action, playing with things, and how important that is.
It really is for students. So we tend to see students who come to DelVal for a lot of reasons. One is this focus on experiential education really resonates with them, right? If you look at our students, they've had experiences both at home, perhaps through part-time jobs, or in their education that enabled them to not just listen to somebody talk about their field, but also to engage in it. So we get students who come here who really are action-oriented, right? They want to get their hands dirty, so to speak.
Yeah.
They want to practice what they're learning in real time. And I think that really resonates, particularly today, as we're seeing in K-12 education. More and more schools are focusing on engaging in activities that support learning in real time. Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned, I've also got 3 children, one of whom's finished college, one who's in college, and one who's exploring right now. And I know that type of education resonates for them, right? And there's something really special here about how we do that and how it's embedded in all that we do.
Yeah, and now I can sit here and say, after almost over 200 college campuses, You all do it differently and better. You know, it's just part of the ethos. It's part of
Absolutely.
And you can see it, and that's why I wanted you to start off with this like history, because it's just part of the culture here.
Yeah, and Rabbi Krauskopf, I mean, we make sure that our students, as part of their first year experience on campus, they learn a little bit about him and what motivated him in this philosophy of science with practice. And I think most students on campus know a little bit about the story that I've told you, and also about the values that he held dear, that are the core values of the institution, that we make sure that we not only teach our students, but we also walk the talk in terms of how we honor his legacy.
Absolutely. And I know you honor this legacy. I mean, even the core value. What I would also want to just talk about is your history, because it's not super common that you have someone, 30 years, right? Correct? At this institution, you started as a professor in chemistry.
I did, that's correct.
So, I love you to just talk about your history here, because it's so unique and it's such a gift to these students and to parents, because you know this place. You care about this place. That's different. And I love you to just talk about that and open that up a little bit.
Sure, yeah, so thank you. Alex is saying in a very kind way that I'm old.
No, it's not every day that I talk to a president that has the history and experience at an institution.
I appreciate it. When I was finishing up graduate school, I had a really good experience as an undergraduate in a small supportive environment at the college I attended. So that was something that was front and center for me as I looked for a faculty position. I wanted to be at an institution that provided the same kind of support that I had. And when I saw the ad for DelVal, what really resonated for me beyond that was this whole focus on experiential education and Rabbi Krauskopf's ethos of science with practice. So I remember heading up here. I was in North Carolina, and I headed up, and it was in the dead of winter in 1994 for the interview. And what struck me, and this is always true on this campus, regardless of the season in which you visit, is you're just drawn in by the campus, right? The campus itself, the main campus, consists of over 500 acres. It's a beautiful mix of academic and residential buildings, but surrounded by farmlands that support our living, learning communities in agricultural and life sciences. But when I got on campus, beyond that, it was the people here. And I found faculty, staff, and students who were very passionate about what they were doing. And with respect to the faculty and staff, people who were very committed to helping students realize their potential. And I knew at that moment that I wanted to be part of that community. And it's interesting. So here I sit, actually a little more than 31 years later. And while a lot of the people have changed, right, because the institution evolves and time goes by, it's still the people here and the relationships they have with each other, and in particular with our students, that make this the really special place that it is.
Like Doylestown, beautiful town, and just the campus, the South Campus too. I'd love you just to describe that a little bit.
Yeah, it's really a unique place. So, and actually the university itself encompasses 3 properties, over 1,100 acres of land, which are available to support teaching and learning. And the main campus itself, I think what makes it so special is so many of our majors require laboratory experiences, not just in academic buildings, but out in nature, working with animals, working with plants, working with waterways. We have all of that on this campus, right? So as you head out, you have facilities that support the academic programs just a short walk from the main quad. Whether it's our swine center, our dairy center, our greenhouses, our hydroponics and aquaponics facilities, our freight farm containers, our equestrian center, our orchards, our fields, they're all here. So regardless of your major, whether it's environmental science, biology, animal science, plant science, you've got all that right here, right outside the door. And one of the things I always tell prospective students and their families is, there are other institutions that have those types of programs, but there are very few, in fact, only a couple, that have the ability for you to be staying in a residence hall, living in a residence hall, going to class, and then getting those laboratory experiences all within like a 15-minute circular walk, right? And then on top of that, what makes it even extra special is we practice that commitment to experiential education by employing a lot of our students part-time through the E360 program to work on campus and complete internships here. So we have over 400 students who work on campus throughout the year. And think about that as a student, to be able to have that experience, living, studying, working, building your resume, building your network, all here on this campus, right? And as part of a community that believes in that same type of education, whether it's your fellow students or the faculty and staff.
Yeah. There's a lot of awards you all have won. And,
Yes, that's right.
But I think what you just stated right there is why. When you look at the News and World Report and best, Mid-Atlantic, there's all kinds of awards that you all have won. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
And I think the other important thing I want to mention too is we've got 28 majors here, right? So a lot of people will focus on, given our history, the life and agricultural sciences, right? The institution that was founded by Rabbi Krauskopf and how it evolved, but it also has evolved in such a way that we continue to invest in our roots but expand our reach. So we've also got programs in business, in counseling psychology, in criminal justice, media and communication, education. And what makes those special as well is there's that same commitment to experiential education, those hands-on experiences that help students to build their resume and differentiate themselves from others. And that is not lost at all in any of our majors. And all students complete the E360 program, which really gives students the opportunity to explore internships, career exploration experiences, student research opportunities, civic engagement, service learning, leadership development. It's a whole cadre of opportunities that each student gets that reinforces not only their discipline-related skills, but what some people will call transferable or life skills. I like to call them those life or career skills, right? Yeah. Because they are what drive you as you make your leaps in your discipline to different positions.
Absolutely. I was thinking about myself because I know when you go down to that South Campus, and I was a business major, but I was going to say, it's like the energy, going back to the energy here and all the different majors, it's a great place to go to college. How peaceful it is here. There's something about, and I don't know how to say it. It's like whether you're walking down to the Arboretum or if you're walking down to, Animal Science Center and the greenhouses, I don't know, there's a very peaceful energy. I would love to go to school here.
Absolutely, and I can tell you that throughout the day, I take the moment here and there to wander out and see who I can find. Sometimes it's a class in the horticulture department that's outside looking at plant specimens, and I stop and I talk to the students. Today I happened to be in a building for a meeting. I stopped in our media and communication lab and I sat down with the students and the faculty member teaching the course and spent some time with them and learning not just about what they were doing, why they're here, right? And what drives them to continue to pursue the goals that they have and how DelVal has helped shape that. And I'm also all ears when I'm with students what we could be doing better, right? Yeah. So it's important, I think, as an educator to make sure you don't lose sight of why you're here. And that's why I continue to teach one course every semester in chemistry, because it keeps me connected to our students and our faculty and staff. My father was a teacher and he always reminded me, never forget what brought you to the table. And I keep that in mind, and that's part of why I teach, but it's also part of why I'm out there listening to and interacting with our students.
Yeah. When you think about all the students across the campus, as we look out over your gorgeous campus here, what are you most impressed by, inspired by? How do you describe them to the, who is the perfect student here too? It's a lot of questions I just fired off.
No, it's okay.
Take either one of them. Take any one of them.
Students who are, they're passionate. Our students are passionate about why they're here, what they're doing, and who they want to become. They are very focused, usually on a subject area, if not a specific career outcome, but they're coming here because there are one or more things that have drawn them, right, that makes DelVal special. The things we've talked about has drawn them. They're very committed students. And the one thing I marvel at too is their optimism, their forward-looking nature, and how positive they are about the future. And I'll just say, there's something about being in a job, and it's so funny to call this a job. It's not. It's part of who I am. Yeah, it's part of my life. Yeah. It's a way of life, right?
I feel like it's the same with the college tour.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But you become motivated and driven by that passion that you see, and it refreshes you. If you think about it, I feel very blessed to be in a position where every week, every month, every semester, every academic year, there's that continued refreshed renewal, if you will, as you look forward to continue to provide experiences for our students and you see what they're bringing to the table and the people they become.
Yeah. And you mentioned something right here about that they're looking forward to the future, and that's not always the case right now, right?
Correct.
Unfortunately, with the where the market is and how tough it is. But I think with your E360 program and the experiences, because everyone has to get their hands dirty, basically.
Absolutely.
You're not graduating from DelVal without getting your hands dirty. No pun intended. I mean,
literally and figuratively.
Yeah, totally.
So.
And I just think when you do that and you have those internships and everyone's going to participate in that, it builds your confidence.
Absolutely.
And you're kind of ready, and then you're just more hireable.
Yeah, and we actually hit the ground running day one. So if you are a student here at DelVal, you take 2 courses in your first year, DelVal Experience 1 and DelVal Experience 2. In the first course, we talk a lot about transition to college, right? And what you can expect of us and what we expect from you. But we also introduce you to the history of the institution, the E360 program, and talk a little bit about Rabbi Krauskopf and what he believed. And we take that in the second part 2 of the DelVal Experience course, and we really have a student professional development course for our students where they begin not thinking just about their resume and how to build it, but how to pursue opportunities, how to follow up on those opportunities, how to develop those life skills that I talked about, and really to begin thinking about that E360 program so that many of our students will complete an activity that first summer between their freshman and sophomore year. It's very different than if you think back to how some of us had that experience where we began thinking about those things as we were in our junior or senior year.
Yeah.
We have students thinking about that from day one,
fantastic.
so that they're thinking not just about that first job post-graduation, but really their career trajectory. Where do they want to go, right? What experiences do they need to get through E360? And I always tell students, it's important to figure out what you want to do, but also figure out what you don't want to do.
I was wondering
right?
because I say the exact same
right.
thing. Half of when you're here at this playground,
Right.
it's not just, hey, it's awesome if you chose the right major and
Right.
bam, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But touching things, feeling things, exploring different ideas, because figuring out what you don't want.
Well,
as someone who went down the
absolutely.
wrong path, trust me, it's
and
a value.
And even if you think you're sure of the major, different majors have different pathways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to figure out if you want to be in a lab or you want to be in a teaching environment or what environment resonates with you relative to the path you've chosen.
Mm-hmm.
And E360 does that for our students.
Yeah, it's amazing. As you look to the future, I know there's a comprehensive campaign happening
Yes.
right now. I'd love you to just talk about that and just any kind of new initiatives that are going to come along with that.
Yep. So we are engaged right now, as you mentioned, in a quiet phase of the campaign, which, since we're talking about it, it's not so quiet.
Well, might as well record it. Throw it out there for
That's
the world.
right,
You know?
right.
Didn't know it's quiet. My bad.
But with 3 main focal points, that's investment in our academic programs and the continued evolution of E360, but also investing in our learning, living communities. I'm a big believer in education not just taking place in the classroom, but beyond the classroom, and that includes in our residence halls, it includes athletics, it includes intramurals, it includes clubs and activities, but investing in the student experience beyond the classroom as well as the facilities that support it. And then also looking, which is front and center for families, right? I come from a family where we had 4 of us going through college, 3 at the same time. Wow. Affordability and accessibility, right? And making sure that we keep a DelVal education in reach for our students who want to pursue their dreams here. And we are looking at new programs that run the gamut at the undergraduate and graduate level. We've invested heavily. I think you probably were here when we were just starting in the healthcare space with graduate programs in speech language pathology and in physician assistant studies, bringing in that human health piece with, we already had animal health, plant health, environmental health. Now we've got the full gamut, right? What they call the One Health approach to education, right? Looking at the whole environment in which life occurs, right? And so there we also have a significant poultry science initiative. One of our largest majors is animal science. We've secured funding for a new poultry science center on campus and are going to have a new specialization in our animal science program. We're also looking at renovation of existing residence halls and investing in common areas for our students to, again, further promote that sense of community on campus that we already have, but to make it stronger. The goal is really, as part of the campaign, is to make us the destination for students who are looking for a smaller school experience where people know you. It's not just about teaching and learning, it's also about mentoring and preparing you for life, right? And knowing that you are focused on the same type of education that we are, and that is one that is practitioner-based, is going to give you real-world experience, that's going to give you a springboard into your career.
Yeah, so well said. Thank you for having coffee.
And thank you, Alex.
Thank you for having me back on campus.
You are welcome anytime.
It is really good to be here, and it's we didn't have coffee with college presidents back in season
Yes.
one. But I appreciate you sitting down. Thank you
good.
for everything
Cheers.
you're doing. This is an amazing institution. If you haven't watched the episode, go watch the episode of College
Thank you.
Tour.
And please come see us.
And come to campus. You got to check out this
All right.
campus. You got to come step foot on this campus. It's a magical one. All right. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.